Welcome back to the Gamers Rundown podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Gallifrey Madman, joined by my ever short friend, Ewok.
Not that fucking short, 5'7", furry and a pervert. Thank you very much. Hello, Trips. How are we doing? What an intro. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm just the other one. I saw this. I'm just the other one. Yeah. Okay. Judging by the way this podcast has started, you'll probably tell this is going to be a podcast that's slightly different.
Today we're going to get into the top 5 things that annoy us about the gaming industry. But before we get into that, Ewok, you got some quick tidbits to pass along?
Quick tidbits, right, here we go. Number 1, Last of Us and Uncharted 4 director Bruce Straley has left Naughty Dog studio after almost 20 years. Yes, he's hung up his mouse and his thinking cap, and he's walked out. Hasn't said he's going to do anything else.
Maybe we might actually get some good games from them then.
Yeah, it's just.
And I know I'm going to get hate mail for that
change.
one.
It's going to be a big change, but Uncharted, Last of Us, Last of Us is a bit of a sort of a classic, if you like, and the Uncharted series is very.
I never
good.
liked The Last of Us. I thought The Last of Us is overrated.
Yeah, he's done. He's walked. Good luck to him. Okay, yeah. And this next one is a game that you are not a fan of. I looked at it and said no. Right, Overwatch. Overwatch director Jeff Kaplan has announced that 480,000 accounts have had action taken against them. Basically, they're clamping down on bad behavior and the rising tide of toxicity within the game.
In gaming?
Yeah. So they've actually, almost 500,000 accounts they've actually taken action on. Now, I don't know whether that's banned, suspended, what have you, but they are taking no prisoners on this one, and then they promise that they're going to continue to do so. And I think it's a good thing. I think there should be more people doing this. And taking responsibility for the shit that goes on in the games.
Yeah, but if somebody like Call of Duty were to do that, they'd probably be getting rid of all their players.
Like 98% of the people that play the game. Yeah. Maybe it's not such a good idea. Activision kind of switch off to listen to this. Okay. Big news in Nintendo world. How we all love Nintendo. Nintendo Switch has some big titles coming to it: Skyrim, Doom, and Wolfenstein 2.
It's amazing.
Backtrack. Nintendo Switch. Switch off. Just switch off. If you bought it, just switch off. Hand it back. Give it to a homeless guy. You use it as a pillow. It's crap. Just don't use it. Anyway, that's like news that's not news. Now, for people who like the Arkham games,
yes, that's me.
Has announced there will be no more Arkham games.
Yeah.
They're not doing any more. What's actually come from Warner Brothers, not so much Bethesda, but Warner Brothers have said it's not happening. They haven't really given much information into it, but it came from the guy who does the voice of Batman. It was
Kevin Conroy.
A quote, it was a quote that he made that kind of got people sort of digging into it.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. It's just we don't want to you don't want to milk out that franchise because it's such a good franchise, and they did a complete go through.
It's already milked. There's far too many of them.
No, there's what? There was only 3 with the actual Arkham series, and then the Warner Brothers did that one, the Arkham Origins, which got a bad rep, but it was actually a good game in my opinion. But I feel ending it is good. Don't kill it like they've done with things like Halo or
Call of Duty. Call of Duty. Now this was a game I looked at. Todd laughed at me, or especially Gally had a bit of a laugh at me with this one. It was Lawbreakers. Zero gravity action. Boom, loads of action. Yeah,
it's just another Overwatch.
Oh, it's bummed. It has totally bummed. They're reporting that on PC there's less than 300 people online playing it.
Yeah.
It has tanked. Seriously tanked. So they're in crisis mode to try to figure out how they're actually going to get people on board to play it. It is that bad.
Yeah, they're gonna have to send a virus through Overwatch.
Yeah. No,
that's all it is. It's just another glorified Overwatch. That's all they tried to do.
One, which I think will interest you, Bungie. This is a Destiny thing. They are removing a symbol that appears on a gauntlet in Destiny
Yeah, it's
2.
just ridiculous. This is
Because
not freaking
it
Nazis.
resembles the symbol that appears or is used by a white supremacist group. Now, for somebody to make that connection, is that person a white supremacist? Do you know what I mean? If you don't know what that looks like,
and what you're saying with this,
you're not going to see it. You're not going to make the connection.
I know it's just, and this is one of the things that is going to be coming up in one of my topics. Is one of the things that annoy me. So I will get back to this a little bit later.
Okay. Right, here we go. Need for Speed Payback, out on the 10th of November. Something I am looking forward to. Tyler Morgan. The story is Tyler Morgan is double-crossed and forced into exile, bringing down the cartel. How are you going to bring it down a cartel racing cars? I don't know. All the TNT in the world wouldn't bring down a cartel, but this guy, Tyler Morgan, is going to manage it, racing a car. So good luck, Tyler. Hopefully that all goes well for you. Something that's been massive, huge in the social media just now is, I don't know if anybody follows him, PewDiePie. PewDiePie, yeah. He has 37.5 million subscribers.
Yeah,
a couple of years ago, he made $7.4 million he made in a year. He
is Mr. YouTube.
He let out he dropped the N-bomb, which we're not going to say in here, during a stream. Now, depending on where you look at this, there is loads to read on this, loads of opinions, loads of comments, and I want to put my take on this, and I'm sure Gal will put his as well. You don't drop that word unless it's something you use on, not regular, but it's in your vocabulary. It's a word that you use. There's people jumping to his defense saying, it just slipped out. No, that word doesn't just slip out. It's not something, unless it's a word you use, it's not going to slip out. So we kind of, everybody got a bird's eye view of who he possibly really is and what goes on behind the scenes. He did post an apology, which was kind of lame. So it'll be interesting to see how many subscribers he loses, where his status goes money-wise, because I wouldn't be surprised if any sponsors and stuff start closing the doors on him.
Well, the developers of Firewatch have already gone after him. They're trying to get him shut down or fined or whatever. But I know what they're actually putting copyright strikes against him for stuff to do with their game, and he's not fighting them.
Do you know what? Considering what happened here, right? What surprised me is how much money he made in 2014. $7.45 million.
Well, that's what happens when you've got hundreds of millions of viewers.
But I watched a little bit of him, right? And I watched about 2 minutes of him on one of his things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, he's the sort of guy I would love to punch in the face. There's nothing that says, oh man, I'm watching you. I want to donate my money to your channel. I don't know you, but I feel a connection. The only connection anyone would feel to him is probably if they were racist, I would imagine. Maybe he's got something to do with the Destiny symbol. Maybe there's the connection, people. You never saw it before. Right here on the Gamers Rundown, we made that connection, and we will be informing the NYPD. And that's the rundown of what's going on in the gaming world. Fast and Furious is the way it is, because Gally wants to get into the things that annoy him.
Well, dude, just before we get into that,
he's going to back.
And here's an announcement, and it doesn't fall within the gaming world, but a lot of the people that are in the gaming world remember this, because whether people believe it or not, the gaming world does consist of people in their 30s and older. Okay, that's the bulk of the gaming world. It's not all 12-year-olds. So a lot of us grew up watching this man as an icon. I did, and Bobby the Brain Heenan from the WWF and then WWE has passed away. If you people remember him as a wrestler and then as a manager in the wrestling world, WWF was huge. I mean, probably even bigger than it is now when I was a kid, and watching all these wrestlers now that I was watching, they're all at that age now, and it's like really hits home going, holy shit, I'm getting old because all these wrestlers are passing away. I mean, we've lost Roddy Piper, now Bobby the Brain Heenan. It's just, ugh.
Okay. See, I remember when Sky TV first came to the UK when I was a kid, and there's a guy down the road who had it, and everyone went down there to watch. It was to watch the wrestling. So he had like all these kids in his mum's front room watching this TV because he, if anybody had a satellite dish at the house, they're considered, well, they've got money. So everyone kept descending on the house to watch the wrestling.
Yeah, and if that happened in today's world, people would be after you with a pitchfork because why is he having all these kids hanging around his house?
Yeah. So it wasn't Neverland. It was the fact that Michael Jackson had Sky. Okie dokie. Well, this is a bit of a weird session, is it? This one. Wow. Yeah. That's the the wrestling thing is. Well, it's not something I've been interested in. I'll be honest. I don't. I personally, I don't see that. I don't see the attraction of all the fakery. I know it. I know it's a show, and it's they're professionals and they put on this big performance. And yeah, they've got millions of fans around the world. Fantastic. But you always meet that one person or that odd person. You get into conversation with
who thinks it's real,
and they go, "No, it's real. Yeah, it's real. No, it's not real, mate. No. Yeah, no. If any normal human being was hit that hard, that many times, they're being conscious. No. The real, mate. It's totally real. Yeah, because the two chicks in there with the fake tits. Yeah.
Well, and that's what most people are watching it for now is the chicks with the fake tits.
Yes. So we know that Gally still watches it.
No. I don't even have TV.
You don't have a TV?
I have a TV, but I don't have TV.
Do you not?
The only way I can watch anything is through Netflix and stuff like that. Okay. I don't actually have a television subscription to cable or satellite or anything like that.
So I imagine you sat down, with your slippers on and a coffee and a bagel watching Dr. Phil in the afternoon.
I'm just I can't wait to get over to England and just slap the shit out of you. I really can't.
That's cool, mate, because I'm in Scotland, so that's all good.
Yeah, but you're going to be in England too.
Maybe. Oh, what's that? No, I've just got a phone call there. Yeah, from my boss. My leave's been cancelled. I don't think I'm going to make it.
Yeah, because he fears for his life.
Yeah, we'll see, mate. We'll see.
No, I'm definitely looking forward to that. GLC is going to all be meeting up over there next March. We're hopefully going to be renting out a go-kart track and paintball. We're going to have a blast.
Put your money where your mouth is, yeah.
Pretty much.
I can't wait to watch you squeeze yourself in a go-kart. That's gonna be funny.
I am not fat anymore, you little freaking bastard. The one we're gonna need shoehorns and lube for is Ramey.
No. Be nice.
Well, we've already told him this.
I'm sure they can stitch two together. Right. I never said that. I'm only joking names. Off track. Totally off track. This feels kind of a little bit rushed. It's just basically we've got stuff to do, so we're making sure you get your
top 5 things that annoy you in the gaming industry.
I haven't got a countdown for this, so I'm just gonna have to go off the top of my head because
you have to. Well, that's the best way to do it because then you know what's really bugging you.
You give me no preparation time for this one, so
yep.
Top 5 things. Well, you go first. What's your
the top? Well, in my top 5, and we covered it a little bit earlier, and it's the toxicity of multiplayer environments and how games seem to be doing more and more concentrating on that environment, and it's really annoying the hell out of me. We've really lost touch with the single player game, unless you're on PlayStation. PlayStation gives you quite a fair bit more of the single player experience than Xbox does, but it's just the more and more leading into the multiplayer world is, and I think we're eventually going to just lose so much on the single player aspect of gaming. it's just, I don't know, it annoys me that it's going in that direction, or it has gone, should I say?
Yeah, it is drifting off, and I think that's down to money. The money is in the multiplayer. They don't make the money off the single player. I mean, some people buy like Call of Duty and never play a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I know people have done that. They've bought it and they've never played a campaign.
I would be one of them.
I know guys that bought Battlefield and Battlefield 4 and never played a campaign. Battlefield 3.
Well, see, now I agree with that one because I'm an original Battlefield player. I'm an original Battlefield player, and Battlefield did not have a campaign. It was only multiplayer. And then not until they released the idiotic versions onto console when all of a sudden they felt they needed to put a campaign on it. It's just so stupid.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, Battlefield 3 campaign was good. 4 was pretty poor, I'll be honest. But 3 was...
I could have lived without them.
Really good. Really, really good.
What about you?
Number 5, I'm jotting these down really quickly as I'm trying to think and talk at the same time, which can be tasking for me, being the fact I'm a small Ewok. Number 5 is AI. Now, AI in games, for me, in this day and age, AI should be on the ball. There should be no question about how AI runs and how it interacts with the person that's playing the game. But time and time again, we have games that are released, next-gen games, all this money pumped into them, that have incredibly, incredibly poor AI. I recently bought Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. Okay? Not my best buy. I got rid of it pretty quick, right? The AI is terrible. I mean, shockingly bad.
There's a game that just recently released that has terrible AI too. It's called Destiny 2.
And it doesn't make sense. I mean, like, you go back to
Fear. You remember the Fear franchise? Yes, remember how incredible they had their AI was in that game?
Yeah.
And you're talking a 12-year-old game.
Yeah. So what has gone wrong? They're making all this effort to make it look, people, act using body mapping and stuff, and right, fine, but it's not. How can you go backwards in going forwards? And it annoys me. Now, racing games have the same issues as well. I recently got F1 2017 and got rid of it, and one of the reasons I got rid of it was the bloody AI. Mm-hmm. In a game of that nature. Right, the AI should not be ramming you off the track and then tearing off down the track, leaving you,
not unless you're racing touring cars, but yeah,
and it's just, and then it's obviously the F1 sim. Well, it's obviously not a sim at all. It makes no sense. If you're gonna have AI, it's there for a reason, and you can have a game that is 99% absolutely fantastic, and if you have poor AI, that 1%, you've just lost your audience. That's my opinion, mate. That's my number 5.
I tell you a great AI out there right now, The Division. The Division actually has really good AI.
No, I'm just watching paint dry on my wall here. Well, I think that bit's dried out now. Get a second quote.
Okay, number 4. Number 4 for me. I'm just gonna have to go with Xbox's party system. I don't understand how. I mean, how long's Xbox been out now since they released the original one and came out with Xbox Live? We started party apping in 2005 is
7?
Yeah, but then how long did it take for the Xbox Live? I think, I want to say 2006, 2007.
Yeah, 2006, that was, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we started getting the Xbox Live out then. We started getting party chats. We've had a fantastic party chat system through the Xbox 360 years. What the fuck is going on with the Xbox One? Okay, because not only, just last night, got together with an old pal, playing The Division, and twice we've lost connection in the party. We had to reset the party while we were playing The Division, and it's just like there was just 2 of us in the party. And then what was it? Last weekend we had 12 or 13 people in the party, and we kept getting people this person's not connected properly, or we had to reset what is going on with this shit? Okay, there was no problems whatsoever with the Xbox 360. When you were in a party chat, you were in a party chat, and you
Yep.
did not have to go through all this other bullshit that's going on with the Xbox. I think this is a big problem with them being behind, or shall we say, trying to make up ground on the PlayStation, and they're trying to do all this cool stuff by, we're increasing the party app size, we're doing this, we're making things more, what was it, what was it? What were they talking about? They're trying to show off the championships, and they're concentrating more on esports and stuff like that, and all that other bullshit. Why don't you fix your fucking base system first before you start moving on to all that other bullshit?
So this is something we spoke about a while back, probably maybe on the GOC podcast actually. I don't know if it was on the rundown ones, where the way I see it is they're got all this funding within Microsoft. The global company, huge company, and they're doing all this good stuff, but it's the negative, or the areas that they're not concentrating on, are not funding enough, right? That are letting them down.
Yeah, and they don't get it.
Party is just one. When it was 8 people, you had stable. Now it's 16. It's not stable. And now some games you need 16 in a party, like for racing games and stuff. So why are they not putting the attention and the funding and the support and all the experts, to task to fix this party issue? Mm-hmm. Now, Xbox servers, there's always an issue with Xbox servers. They always have contracts where games are forced to use Xbox servers. Now, the Xbox servers, we know, are completely overwhelmed. And the more and more games that come out, they're using the same servers. They're not adding to the servers. If it's not a case of them being overwhelmed, it's a case of, they need to upgrade these servers, and they need to do it really, really quickly. When the Xbox X comes out, do you think people are going to go, I tell you what, I've got this brand new console, does everything, makes my coffee in the morning, wipes my ass, but oh my God, I can't stay in a party. And people will argue, oh, it's your connection. No, bullshit. It's not your connection. I've got a fantastic connection, as does Gally, as does a lot of our friends. And you can have people with the strongest connections in the party just dropping, and they can't get back online. And it's nothing to do with the internet. It's to do with Microsoft basically wanking themselves off in the office, counting all the dollar bills.
Yeah, I love how people always try and use that connection issue. And people don't even know what it takes.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's disgusting, mate.
I get people, my son, he's on a 25 megabyte download. He's got a 25 megabyte. And people say, oh, dude, that's not enough for gaming. You need to bump that up. That's why you're having issues. No, it's not. Okay? Because if you know anything about gaming, the only thing you need is less than 5 megabytes per second. Okay? That is what's required for multiplayer. Okay? It's your ping that determines what happens as far as when it comes to your connection on the game or whatever. But party systems, those don't work the same way as a game. So we should not be having this issue.
When I was down in England previously, when I was with the forces, right, my exchange was 2 miles from my house, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like the second closest to it, right? So ping shouldn't have been an issue,
right?
But it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
How can it be an issue? I'm 2 miles from the actual, where my internet comes from. What the hell? But yeah, so I totally agree. Parties are fucked. Sort your shit out. Sort it out.
All right. Number 4 for you.
Number four for me is kids. Now, kids. Where'd I go with this and being careful? Fucking kids. I don't mean fucking kids. What I mean is kids online. Right. Parents, if you listen to this, listen in, and honestly, take from it what you will. Because I'm not going to apologize for anything I say on the subject. Right. If you have a child who is not 18, why the fuck are they playing an 18 game? Why are they on Call of Duty upstairs in the room online with complete strangers unsupervised? It's absolute bullshit, right?
You know how many kids find out their mothers are whores?
Yeah. In this day and age, right? We should be, if you've got kids, you should be so protective. Would you allow your kid to go into a room with 8 other men you don't know and spend 4 hours in there with the door closed? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't do it. So why are you letting your kids loose on the internet? Kids are getting groomed online daily, weekly. Some it's going further, to the other extent, which we don't want to talk about. And I think it's such a massive safety issue, and the responsibility lies with the parents. And it's something that really, really winds me up.
Yep.
And another one, this may upset a few people that I know, but I'm going to say it anyway, is adults. If you're an adult, why do you have 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 15-year-olds on your friends list? It's wrong. Would you go downtown and hang out with a 15-year-old if you're 42? No, you wouldn't. So why are you chatting online to them? It's wrong. I don't feel comfortable about it. I know that's quite a controversial one among people I know, but it's wrong.
I don't see it the same as chatting with people, because you're not actually there to chat. You're there to play a game.
Oh yeah, but no, if you're in party and you got, let's say you got 8 in the party, 7 are all adults, and you got the one who, the 14-year-old who's fantastic at the game, but he's in a party with that, and you know what chat's like in parties can get a bit wild and a bit X-rated.
Uncouth.
Uncouth, yes, uncouth, yeah. It was so uncouth, I was once a gentleman. Uncouth, yeah. And, it's something I don't like, and I don't like the fact that, these are kids unattended.
Yeah, back in my day.
It's so dangerous.
Back in my day, parents used televisions as babysitters. Then as you got into the 90s, more and more parents started breaking away from using the television and using video games as the babysitters. And I've said it before. I mean, just look at the difference in. You might not live in a place that has winter and snow and all that stuff, but when I was a kid would make some extra money by going out there and shoveling sidewalks, so that way he could buy that next game he wanted or something like that he could. Now, these days, the streets are vacant. There's no kids earning money. There's no paper boys. There's no nothing. And the parents just buy them whatever they want. It's just like, and then we wonder where the entitlement came from.
Mum and Dad are sitting downstairs watching X Factor while Jeff the crack addict is babysitting little Joey upstairs on the Xbox.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's absolutely nuts. Kids are up there for like 3-4 hours, and then going to bed. And
that 3-4 hours. What kids do you know are only doing it that short? I see kids spending all day on it.
I mean, yeah, kids don't go out and play anymore. It's quite an old-fashioned thing to say, but you don't see kids in the streets anymore.
Yes, that's a very good one. That's a good one to bring up. Yeah. My number 3 for me. And people might take this the wrong way, and people might get annoyed at me for this, but I don't have a problem with girl gamers. Okay, if you're a gamer, you're a gamer. We're out there having fun. My big issue right now is these girl gamers out there on your Twitches, your Mixers, your YouTubes, whatever, shaking their money makers, trying to make freaking money off of playing these games, and half of them don't even know how to play the freaking game.
But people don't care. They go, look, there she is. This comes to kids as well. There's a 14-year-old dressed up as a 25-year-old with her fucking tits hanging out. I'm going to give her $5.
Yeah. And it falls almost in the same line with what you're doing, with what you said.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? Seriously. And, these gamers that get, streamers that get banned because they accidentally got up with a miniskirt and bent over and showed their foof to the whole world. Accident? No, it wasn't an accident at all. It's cheap PR to get more subscribers.
Yeah, and to try and make money. And don't get me wrong, I have a problem with kids streaming and all this stuff with games and their attitudes too. But my biggest problem is the young girls that are out there, and and they're basically whoring themselves out to make money, and it's just.
They're all
I give kudos because don't get me wrong, I have female gamer streamers. I follow some of them because they're actually decent people. They're really into the gaming. They're into all this stuff. They're not out there trying to whore themselves out. But I'm sorry, a good godly. And then of course, remember when Twitch had to come out with the dress code because of the girls?
Yes.
I mean, it's out of control.
Why not? See, this is where you kind of get the battle of the sexes, right? Guys streaming. Do you see guys streaming their topless to get all their female viewers? No, they just go on a stream. Girls or young women feel the need, right, that when they're streaming, they have to be dressed a certain way in order to get donations and stuff. I mean, they're getting the money and stuff, but you got to think on. Yes, you're taking that money, but do you have a conscience and think about the people that are actually watching you and donating this money? They don't all have good intentions.
No.
And, it does go back to the kids thing. And I think it comes to a safety issue. And we might be coming across as a bit, old fuddy-duddies here, but it's a moral issue as well. And you're right in saying that they are essentially whoring themselves out. And they're putting themselves at risk. And I think in some cases, they are degrading themselves and taking away from their possible achievements within the gaming industry. If that's a better way of putting it. But I think people will think we're all fuddy-duddies here, but it's, it is a valid point. It really is. You don't need to get your tits out to impress people.
Nope.
I impress people every day when I get my tits out.
And trust me, he has them.
And I've got some puppies, I tell you.
All right, now, put your bro on and let's go.
Okay.
Seinfeld 3. Reference if anybody missed it.
Number 3 from the Ewok Meister is cross-platform gaming. Right. PlayStation, stop fucking around. Seriously. I'm not going to hold back. Stop fucking around. Stop being pompous.
Well, to be fair, it used to be Microsoft.
Bring your nose back down from the clouds, right? Tuck your ass in, suck it up, and just go, let's do this, right? The gaming world wants it because there's the ongoing battle of Xbox and PlayStation. Who are the better gamers?
But you have to admit, Xbox didn't want it. PlayStation did back in PS3, Xbox 360 days, all the other stuff. Now that Xbox One has half as many consoles out there, doesn't have as many gamers as PlayStation, now it's Xbox who wants it and PlayStation who doesn't. You've got to see that there is just some stupid reasonings going on here. I mean, it's like,
if this was to happen,
you're outselling us. Okay, please cross-platform with us.
If this was to happen, right, Microsoft might actually put funding into the servers. I truly think it would be beneficial for Microsoft and Sony to collaborate in this. It's not going to be a negative thing. It's going to be positive for everybody. I mean, can you imagine the competitions, the tournaments, the rivalry that could go on if you could have cross-console gaming? That'd be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It really would. So I mean, that's my number 3. I'm not going to really go sort of too deep in this. But basically need.
Okay, I'm going to go to my number 2. Game announcements. This is getting ridiculous.
Okay.
They're announcing games way too freaking soon. I mean, the perfect example, one that's just now going to be coming out, Cuphead. We've been waiting on that for 3-4 years?
Yeah.
That's just fucking ridiculous. There's no reason to be telling us 5-6 years out that, hey, look, we have plans to make this game. Good. Make the fucking game. And guess what? When you've got it ready to play and you want to release it, then let me know about the fucking game, because then we're not all sitting there giving you a hard time because you had to delay the fucking game because guess what? It wasn't ready. Oh.
And it's like there's an extremely high number of games that have been announced and then didn't go anywhere. They were announced, some were announced at E3, where they had their running demo E3, and then they just vanished because they had nowhere to go with it. They went this little, 2-minute clip. This is what the game's going to do.
How about the Star Wars games? The 1313 game.
Yeah. I know it's hype and it's crazy. Sometimes I think studios and developers, they give in to what the community wants. We want this, and they go, all right, let's knock up a little demo, boom. That'll keep them sweet for a couple of years. Yeah, but the gaming industry doesn't forget.
Yeah.
If we see something go, oh, we want that, then they won't forget. When Division was first announced, I pre-ordered it, and then also that got delayed like 3 times before it came out. And then
changed up. But it's still a great game.
And then when it came out, it did look nothing like what they'd advertised. And I'm thinking, you've delayed this for almost a year. And when you've released it, it looks about 60% done to what you promised it was going to be like.
Oh, you remember when they announced it? They were talking about how your friends would be able to join in with you on tablet by being a drone in the sky?
Yeah.
That never ended up coming to the game.
No, And this leads into you talk about games. This leads into demos, E3 and stuff. If you're going to demo a game, if that's what your demo looks like, that's what the game has to look like. You're lying. That's like saying, "Oh, mate, I've got this priceless Ferrari here for you." Really? Oh, fantastic. 25 grand. Fantastic. I'll take 25 grand. And you tip up, and it's Reliant Robin. Where's the Ferrari? Oh, but it's got a Ferrari badge on it. That's not a Ferrari. What are you doing? You're lying. But people get sucked into this. Ubisoft
is the biggest one on it.
Worst ones for it, and EA can be bad for it as well. But people fall for this time and time again. Just look at Ghost Recon Wildlands. The demo looked amazing, smooth, beautiful. Game came out.
So all I got to say is develop your game, get your game ready for release, and then when it's finally ready, tell us in 6 months that it's coming out. That's the way it should be. People should not know about all these games and be told that, oh, we're making this game, look for this game. I mean, look at now. They've just announced at the E3 Beyond Good and Evil 2, a game that people have been asking for 15 years.
Yep.
Now they tell us, hey, this is a CGI film we've created for a game we're going to start developing. Fuck you.
That's pointless. That's pointless.
Yes.
Joe, they might save
exactly right.
They might save a shitload of cash by just announcing it, say, a year before, instead of spending a year and a half, 2 years doing all this PR for the game that doesn't come out, or if it does come out, it crashes. Think of the money you're spending. Use that money to make better AI. There we go.
All right, number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me is Xbox UI. Right.
I love this one.
Right. Yeah, you're in the preview program, which I took myself out of.
No, it went live. Everybody's got it.
I don't.
Why not?
I don't know. I've got automatic updates as well. I might be on there today. I don't know. I'll have to check. UI. It was working. Then they changed it, and they've gone and changed it again. Now, it was working fine. And then they changed it where you had to go forward, then back, and then forward again, then back to do what you had to do the previous time by doing one thing. And they've gone and changed that again. It's got kind of a PlayStation look to it. Why? I don't see that. If you're going to reinvent stuff that doesn't work,
I have to disagree with you because I like this one.
To mess with stuff, maybe this one works, I don't know. But they keep messing with it. And 2 versions I can think of, it was working fine. It worked perfect.
They've reduced the button press for the home.
Yeah, it was hugely accessible and very easy to use. And they keep pissing it. It's like the board. It's like, all right, Jeff, you going to throw on today? Nah, go and mess around with the UI, mate. We'll pump it out in 3 months. Oh yeah, good, yeah, fine. Just leave it alone. Stop messing. Mess with it.
Stop fucking with the UI. Fix your party chat.
Fix the party chat. Yeah. No, fix what's fucked. We might get a curse count on this one. We've swore quite a lot, but fuck it. But yeah, fix your parties. Leave the UIs alone. That's you just get used to one, and then they're going to change it on you again. And me and you are getting older, mates. There's only so much we can remember.
Yeah. So
that's my number 2.
Now, number 1 is our number 1 the same?
I don't know.
Well, you know what I'm going to talk about.
You can no go on.
Political correctness in gaming.
But you said you weren't going to do this. Okay, right.
That's my number 1 pet peeve.
Right, keep it short because this is a heavy subject. Okay, and me and Gally have already had a conversation about this off air about how heavy the subject is, and it's a minefield. It's an infested minefield of where this can go. It can end up in a 3-hour debate, and you're not going to sit there for 3 hours. Neither am I. I'll go way down the bank and come back, and you'll still be chatting. Okay,
I'm sorry, but political correctness in gaming, in the Western civilization, America and stuff like that, even the UK, we're guilty of it more than, say, the Japan developers and studios and so forth, because, you compare the games. They're like night and day. Now, granted, yes, hell, just look at something like The Witcher series. We're not getting anything that what's the word I want to use? I can't even think of a good word to use, but we're not getting anything of that caliber of just no holds barred. I mean, when you look
Yeah.
at The Witcher 3, I mean, look, well, we brought it up a few podcasts ago. Look at the Conan now, Conan
Look at his
Exiles.
dick.
They're,
Yeah.
well, no, even females. They're not going to show full frontal nudity on any characters. But you watch Witcher 3. Witcher 3 doesn't hold back from anything. Even Witcher 2 didn't hold back from any of that stuff. And and you have now games, Mass Effect, Andromeda, was hit hard with the whole political correctness, the social justice warrior, the feminists, all that stuff. All that stuff hitting into the game, and more than the game itself, that is what really hurt that game. And it wasn't. It was more than just gameplay, which was never even really bad. Maybe there was a few bad animations and stuff like that, but as far as the game itself, it was good. But a lot of the backlash came from all the flack they got for the political correctness bullshit.
And it needs to stay out. It needs to stay out of gaming. Gaming's where you escape. Gaming's not real. It's not, it's not factual. If it's a movie, it's a documentary, fine, get involved in it. But PC ruins everything.
Yeah.
It ruins
and
TV, it
anyone
ruins
know
movies.
what
Look at Grand Theft Auto. That's been hit so many times.
Yeah, again, there's another one. Yeah.
Sexism, racism, PC, human rights. It's a game. It's not real. Yes, little Johnny, who sat in his room 9 years old speaking to Jeff, the crack addict, has just murdered a prostitute and is trying to fuck her dead body. Yes, but it's not real.
No.
It's leave it alone.
But it's just...
It's a culture thing as well.
Here's what really annoys me.
So different
when it's people want to sit there and make the excuse. Well, we've got to try and help protect the children and all this stuff. We don't want children. Okay, first of all,
that's why you have an age rating. Of games.
That's why you uphold the age ratings of games, and parents need to take control of what their kids are playing and so forth. You're right. 15-year-olds, 9-year-olds do not belong playing Grand Theft Auto. They just don't. I don't care what you say. There's no good excuse for it. You have no need to let your 9-year-old play Grand Theft Auto or Witcher 3 or any of those games. They're adult games for a reason. Your kid, hell, buy your freaking kid the goddamn Nintendo like they should have.
Yes, Nintendo Switch. Yes, thank you, Nintendo Switch. Yeah, just not Doom or anything like that. But it's true. I mean, the fact you've got little Johnny playing Grand Theft Auto, then he's going to school, fucking calling the teacher a hoe, and he's going to stab her up and blow up her, blow up the school. It's it is down the games, but
I remember when Grand Theft Auto 5 first came out. Yeah. I'm sitting there in Walmart. Now, I'm in the game section. I'm buying a different game.
Okay.
And there's a couple people up in front of me, and there's a mother with her young son. I want to say he was like maybe 8 or 9. And then a couple other kids in front of them. They're all in line to pay for Grand Theft Auto 5. And I'm standing there, and I forget what game I was buying. I was buying a cheap game or something. And I'm looking at him. I was like, "Oh, getting Grand Theft Auto 5, huh?" And he looks at me and he's like, "Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to play it. Oh, I've been waiting for this game for so long." I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "What part are you looking forward to most?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know, just completing the missions and stuff like that." I was like, "Oh," I said, my buddy of mine, he says he can't wait to go to the new strip club and start throwing the money at the strippers and then going down the street to the hookers and picking up the hookers and finding a dark alley. And the mother's looking at me and I'm like, "What? That's what's in the game." She just looked at me and then looked down at him and said, "I don't think so," and pulled him and walked away. Oh, see, this is what I mean. You had no idea what your kid was having you buy for them.
I remember I used to be one of the ones who used to queue for Call of Duty at midnight and stuff release, and I went and get World of War, and we were at Asda, which is obviously owned by Walmart now, and there was a guy and his 2 sons. We must have been queuing for about an hour. So we're there for an hour, and they finally get there. And I was with my friend Tom, and he's at the counter, and he tries to buy the Call of Duty, and he gets knocked back. This guy's going nuts. The guy behind the counter's going like, "Well, it's for your son." No, it's for me. No, that's not what you said. You're changing your story. We can't sell it to you because you're buying it for your son. Yeah, but he's my son. All right, I'm going to buy it for me. The guy's like, no, we can't do it now because we know you're actually going to give it to someone who's not old enough to play the game. and that'd be against the law. And this dad was going absolutely mental. I'm thinking, you're not going to get farther a year, mate. You're stood here trying to buy a violent game for your child that hasn't even started puberty yet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah. No.
And that's what they claim they're trying to protect people from by trying to get the political correctness. I mean, and then you got then you've got the whole Gamergate starting. You got Anna Sarkeesian, whatever frick her name is, always out there causing issues with feminists, and it's just.
I'm surprised that Destiny's not been hit with the whole it's far too camp. Look at all these.
Thank you for reminding me about that.
Transvestites running about with guns.
Thank you for reminding me about that. And now Destiny feels the need to take this design out of a game that has absolutely nothing to do with anything. It was a fucking made up freaking emblem that they created for the game, and it's getting out of freaking hand. It is just so out of hand that they're picking this apart and they're
spotted this, right, and put the complaint in. You've got to ask yourself, what? Why would you complain about that? Is it really going to affect your life?
I want to know how retarded you are to make you think that's a Nazi emblem.
Oh, man.
How retarded do you have to be?
Talking to PC, before I get into my number one, talking to PC stuff, right? There's a show in the UK called, it's something bacon. It's some bacon show, right? I can't remember the name of it. Ultimate Bake Off. And last week, when the presenter was in a fridge, and the woman opens the fridge, and he does his little thing and closes the fridge again, right? It was a little sketch of part of the presentation, right? The BBC got hit with over 800 complaints about that one thing, because how dangerous it is for children when they get locked in fridges, and started referencing a 1970s advert that was aired in the UK, where kids getting trapped in fridges in wastelands and stuff. Fridges don't lock now; they have to go with magnets. It's not a big handle with a lock. It's just, it closes, it opens, that's it.
Yeah.
800 complaints. I'm thinking, who are these people that sat there going, oh, that's absolutely atrocious. Lovely cake, but he was in the fridge. I must complain. But they do. They complain. These are the PC nut jobs that are in our planet, stealing our oxygen. There's no better place than maybe the bottom of the ocean, way down. Maybe weighed down by a fridge. So they don't come back up. Right.
It's getting out of hand.
It is. It's getting ridiculous. Right. Number one. I'm going to have a go at Xbox again. My number one fucking bugbear is Xbox support. Now, my recent example was it seemed very simple to me. Right. Was I had posted an event in my club on Xbox, and I typed in the event details. It was a racing game, the track, car, blah blah blah. Nothing that was rude, nothing that was cussing, nothing untoward. Normal information regarding the race. I then got a pop-up telling me to keep it clean, and it wouldn't let me post the event. They can keep it clean. There's nothing that's in there there's a bit of slang in there, so I changed it, I reworded it to make sure it was all proper, the Queen's English and what have you. And yet again, keep it clean. So I contact Xbox support with a screenshot, and I even type out what I typed so they could have a look at it. They didn't have a clue. They couldn't come back to me with an answer as to why it was considered not clean. I was like, well, that's what they're there for. It's like when you get these errors, right? You get an error come up your Xbox, right? And you go, oh, it tells you to go to Xbox Support. So you go to xbox.com, blah, blah, blah. You type in the little error code. And Xbox doesn't know. They don't know. It's just an error code. It's like it's a made up code. And if there's an error, if there's something wrong with your Xbox and you phone Xbox support, they should be able to tell you how to fix it. After all, it's their bloody console. If you buy a car and go to a garage and he goes, oh, I don't know, mate, you're a mechanic. Oh yeah, but I can't fix a car. hold on a second. Why are you a mechanic? It's increasingly frustrating. There's little things you contact them. The worst ones are the ambassadors. You've ever had this? You go to chat where you can chat to an Xbox ambassador. And what this is some, I think it's a volunteer who's sat on a sofa watching Jeremy Kyle, and his laptop pings, and he'll give you the advice that he has to hand to help you fix your issue. You know,
yeah, well, you got to remember, these people are just ordinary people sitting by a computer that have a list of stuff that of how to fix it. They know nothing about how the inside of the Xbox works.
but this just it begs belief that when you phone the people who make the console and they don't know what's wrong, where do you go from there? It's no surprise that the parties don't work, that the UIs are terrible, that their servers are crap, because the people that are answering your calls or speaking to the people who buy it don't know what's going on. It's absolutely bonkers. Honestly, it's crazy. The best ones we
bloody forums, Americans.
Right? The best ones we got the forums. You type in the code in the forum, you get like fucking 5 million comments to this thing, and out of the volume of the 5 million comments, nobody still knows what the answer is to this code. Exo's telling you there's something wrong. It tells you something wrong. What's this? Restart, close, try again? Well, what am I trying again? Tell me what's wrong, then I can fix it. That's my biggest bugbear with Xbox. Is the support is horrendous, really, really bad. And if you do happen to speak to somebody, I think not that. I don't know if they're from Sweden, Norway. They sound like a posh Viking when you speak to somebody. And you find yourself having to repeat yourself time and time again. And that annoys me as well.
Oh, how you doing, Bjorn?
So, can I take your name, please? Yeah, it's Mr. Craig Carmichael. Craig Carmichael? No, Carmichael. Oh, Mr. Michael. No. Carmichael. Carmichael? No.
Yeah, you're comical, all right.
I will hang up. See if somebody phones me and asks, is this Mr. Carmichael? I hang up. If you can't get my name right, we're not having a conversation.
Oh yeah,
that's like calling your missus somebody.
You should see the fun I have with mine. Mine people just don't get.
But yours is easy. Unwin.
Not over here.
or is it Unwin?
Not over here. I get people Erwin.
Yeah. So that's my number one. I just hate it. And it doesn't just stop at Xbox. This could go for anybody, any support, phone, forums, whatever. They all have that one person, or the multitude of people that answer the phone that don't have a clue what they're talking about.
Yeah. If they don't have something in front of them giving them the answer to give to you, they don't know. Yeah.
So that's my number one. It is. Well, it's not as heavy going as Todd's number one, but that's my number one. But yeah,
I have real gripes. He has a little bitching and moaning session.
So this has been kind of an authorized rant, because obviously every week Gally at some point has his little rant. No, it's a little rant. Sometimes it's like a medium rant or a medium rare rant. So this kind of been a
free for all rant.
Well, yeah, a constructed rant of things that obviously annoy us within the gaming world. And if you're still there, thank you for listening, or one of you.
I'm sure we've got some people sitting there go, Dad, damn right, that's right, yeah. Holy shit, they're right.
So, for any parents who have listened to this, please feel free to leave comments below, and we'd be interested to hear from you. What your spin on it is. Please don't be abusive. Obviously, we're only passing opinions, and that's what we do. But yeah, fucking Xbox support.
Fucking social justice warriors.
Yes.
We all have those things that annoy us. So if there's anything particular that annoys you, let us know in the comments. If you've got different opinions on us about what we said annoys us, again, leave it in the comments. Let us know what you think about it. If you like the podcast, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, give us a thumbs down, and also hit that subscribe button if you want to be updated for when we have new content coming out. And I think that's pretty much all we've got for today.
Yeah. I've got to go to the bank.
Yes, I have to go take my mother to the fair. No, I'm not going to sell her.
You sound like it's such a chore. It's your mum. Got to take her on the big wheel and get her a toffee apple and some candy floss stuff. No, maybe no. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta bring her to the Big E, the Eastern States Exposition. So
after all, she's put up with you for 54 years. 53 years.
I'm only 45, jackass.
Oh shit!
You're such an asshole. Always the other asshole.
This is
what can you expect? He's Scottish, right?
It has been said. Really? Are we going to go there, are we? Are we going to have a dig at the Scots, are we? Right. Did I tell you I saw this program about how the whole world made America? Yeah. So it wasn't for us Scottish. You wouldn't have balls.
Yeah. In today's day, it's called haggis.
Mate. Oh, I have to tell you this, right? Because I know he will be listening to this podcast because he does listen to this, right? My media guy on my Grid the Grid, Daryl, top bloke. We're in party just I think it was last week or something, and the subject of haggis came up, right? And I was I kind of strung along, right, into believing that they were real. That it was a little animal, it was the delicacy in Scotland, and they get hunted and blah blah blah. So much so that he actually Googled some images and sent them to me over Messenger, and couldn't understand what it actually looked like. Oh, it was fantastic. The party was going mental because people were obviously realizing what was going on. But yeah, the actual haggis was real. The first picture he found looked like somebody put fake lips on a overcooked baked potato.
You mean a supermodel got Botox?
Yeah. So that was actually quite funny, mate. So it was all good, man. It's all good.
Alrighty.
Right. Recap your 5.
Recap my 5. You want me to remember my 5?
Do you know write them down?
Mostly.
Oh my god!
I can't remember what my 5 was.
Can you not? All right, don't forget about it. See, I
remember 4 through 1. Number 5, I forget what I said was because it was just something I did off the top of my head. But the other 4 was my number 4 was Xbox party systems, so forth. Number 3 was girl gamers whoring themselves out on streaming media. Number 2 was, of course, game announcements coming out way too early. And my number 1 gripe with the gaming world is allowing political correctness to intrude.
Okay, my 5 were number 5 was AI and how bad it is. 4 was kids being online, unsupervised. 3 was cross-platform gaming. 2 was the Xbox UI, and coming in at 1 was the Xbox support being absolutely pish.
Can you tell which system he plays the most?
I play Xbox more than I play PlayStation. Of course I do. You know, but I haven't got rid of it. It's still here.
Okay.
So
I think this is pretty good. A pretty good episode, and believe it or not, folks, we threw this together in just a few minutes because I ended up having to take my mother to the fair, so we couldn't come in and do the original show we were going to do.
He wants to take his mum to the fair. I'm kind of glad your mum stepped in, actually, because it would have been an hour-long discussion on PC in the gaming world. So I'm quite happy that obviously that little text message I sent to Mommy Galley worked.
I'm Gallifrey Madman, and for Dirty Ewok.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Take it easy.